Hey everyone, it's Matthew back at the Hub. I'm here with Lindsay Moorehead, who just came to my class, my Thursday class, a couple of times, presented as an unbelievable student and also an opportunity for us to learn a whole bunch of stuff. As you might be able to see, she lives with 2 prosthetics, and that's just the beginning of the story. So I want Lindsay, welcome for one, for sure. And for 2, I just want to. What gave you the courage, what gave you the courage to come try a class at Mind Body Solutions? Like, not courage, but, what motivated you?
I moved here from California last June, and upon moving, I was really looking for a yoga home. I had a yoga studio that I went to regularly in California, and one of my teachers, Arun, was teaching here, doing a weekend workshop, and so I wanted to come for that.
If you don't know Arun, Arun's one of the best, fabulous Iyengar teachers from India. He travels around the world. She actually has been studying with a fantastic teacher. Go on.
So anyways, I came here for the weekend workshop that he was doing, and I had actually heard of your name many years ago and happened to stumble upon your name on the schedule.
On the schedule?
So I said, hey, I'm going to show up here on Thursday.
And just, came into the room, walked into the room, and definitely presents as one of the most subtly aware students I've had that come right out of the gate. So whoever's been teaching has been doing a great job. So before we get into your story a little bit, tell me a little bit about what it was like to try to struggle to find a yoga a place to study at first, because it took you a long time. You went by the studio for a long time.
When I first moved into Pleasanton, California, I was looking for a yoga studio, but many of them that I had stumbled upon and tried to practice at were places that were all about fitness, and that didn't resonate with me. And so I would go to class here and there, but I really felt out of place. And so I had seen this place in downtown Pleasanton, and I walked by there for many years, and I thought, oh, it's just, another one of those places. And so I continued just to walk by it, but then in 2011, I was really struggling with stress and just kind of trying to figure out who I was and that kind of thing. And I was looking up, yoga studios and reading reviews, and so I decided to go into that yoga studio that I had walked by for so many years. And it became my yoga home right away. I mean, the first class that I took was amazing. And I remember calling a friend and saying, I feel like I'm just floating. And I felt so free and so aware that I knew I'd go back. And so,
was it a particular teacher? Was it the studio owner? Or was it any of the teachers?
It was a particular teacher, but it was also the warmness of the studio. They were very welcoming. They were very attentive, asked questions. I mean, I'm somebody who, I always kind of just try to figure things out, and sometimes I kind of forget that I have prosthetic legs until somebody says, oh, can I help you do this or that? Is it different because you're missing, your legs? And this particular teacher was very attentive and asked questions and just made me feel very welcome. But also the studio has a very warm presence. And so that to me was really important. I mean, I walked in and I felt like I was home.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. I still get surprised when I wake up in the morning. Sometimes I'll see my wheelchair next to the bed. I have that same weird feeling.
Yeah.
But that's part of living your life and not being defined by your, that's one of the cool things. So you just took a couple of classes, and Arun she traveled there, right?
Yeah, I didn't meet Arun right away. I mean, it was probably, I don't know, maybe the second year that I was there. I'm trying to remember, I'd have to look at a calendar.
Yeah.
But I took many classes. I was often going twice a day to classes. It was something that worked in my schedule at that time in my life. So when I first stumbled upon the studio, I was going, I don't know, a few times a week, and then it quickly became I was going twice a day to as many classes as I could, just to learn. I was just, again, trying to just kind of figure out what I wanted to do with my life and kind of just figure me out.
And that's so important. I mean, the people make the assumption sometimes, and I want to get this out there, is that someone with a disability comes to yoga because they're looking for help with their disability, when in fact, I came just because I wanted to be a yoga student.
Exactly.
And that's part of what your story is too. You said you were looking to know yourself, but also calm down your mind some. Or
I was having a hard time having a hard time managing stress and knowing how best to do that. And we all have that kind of like that everyday monkey mind, all that chatter in our head, and that chatter was getting out of control. And so I was just looking for like peace and contentment, and I knew that I needed to explore that myself. And it was with the help of the teachers there and just the practice that helped me to start to figure that out for myself.
And another senior teacher, and it seems you kind of fell into the Angar stream, was Carrie Onurko. Did you meet her in the same place, or how did you
I did. My teachers in Pleasanton would have guest teachers come to the studio. And so, I've taken from Carrie Onurko.
So the people at Pleasantville and then these two main teachers have been your main teachers. And by the way, I just want to say, like, they've done a great job. You have a great practice.
Thank you.
That's a real deal. So in the next segment, we're going to explore the actual story, the story we always have to tell, right?
Yeah.
That people have to get oriented to our stories, and so that'll come in the next section. All right.
Thanks for watching. At MindBody Solutions, we train yoga teachers and healthcare providers from all over the world. If you'd like to learn more, check us out at mindbodysolutions.org.